Good afternoon, everyone. At least good afternoon from my time zone. Nevertheless, today I wanted to introduce to you some interesting phrases which literally sprang to mind only this morning, and I thought they would be quite useful. First of all, just look at how serenely autumnal and orange this sort of backdrop is. So the first expression is waste not, want not. I'll put this sort of here, waste not, want not, and the meaning essentially is that if you do not look after the resources that you have now, then you will be in a situation in the future where you might need those specific resources. Let's take a more everyday example. So imagine you are walking with a friend and your friend has some like food with them, and they open their bag, they have food with them, and they don't want it for some reason. Like they just don't want it. And they decide to throw it in the bin. But you say, oh, hang on, waste not, want not. And essentially we're trying to say here that just because you don't want it now, don't waste it, because you might be in a position in the future where you do actually need it. And I believe that this saying actually dates back to as long ago as 1576. And the phrase then was, willful waste makes woeful want. And, you know, don't willfully, don't intentionally waste something, because that will create a negative situation should it come about that you actually do want that thing in the end. You'll have to excuse me for the fact that I am wearing sunglasses. I know it seems a bit pretentious and maybe even rude when you're talking to people with glasses on, but the sun is sort of beaming straight at me for aesthetic camera purposes, so have to excuse that for a moment. So the second expression is beggars can't be choosers, and all this means is that if you do not have the luxury of choice and you desperately need something, let's say, I know you need a new laptop, but you only have an hour to find a new laptop. You go to the first shop you see, and some of them are expensive, some of them, I don't know, have bad colours, some of them aren't brand new or used or second-hand, whatever. And you don't really have a choice to find a better one. You're begging, you're pleading to have this problem resolved, and you don't have a choice, you don't have the luxury of choice. So you can't choose, you have to make this decision now. So you're a beggar and you have no choice. So beggars can't be choosers. Now these trees are particularly skinny, I suppose, and the leaves, I think, naturally do not give a canopy effect, you know, where the leaves sort of overlap and block out the sunlight. That's called a canopy. Not canapes, of course, but yeah. But now we are in the throes of autumn, and at long last, all the oranges of autumn, all the honeys and marigolds and marmalades and apricots of the autumn leaves have finally cascaded onto the ground, onto the glowing autumnal ground, which I'm now crunching along. Example number 3, and this I think is quite pertinent to many of us, which is all the gear and no idea. Picture the scene. You have a friend who says, you know, I really like photography, videography, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to pursue this further. And he spends about £5,000 on camera, editing software, literally everything that you need to do this properly and professionally. But he has not even bothered to learn how to actually shoot good things, to edit correctly. He just, you know, he bought everything and doesn't know what to do with it. He literally has all of the gear, all of the equipment, the stuff, and has no idea, no clue of what to do with it. So quite a useful expression, applies to pretty much any situation that is analogous to that one. And it sounds, you know, sounds cool, I guess, because it rhymes. All the gear, no idea. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Click that subscription box right there. Every little helps. You know, Tesco got it right, I think. And yeah, you can support me on Patreon. For example, you can watch this video with the full PDF transcript and the PDF transcripts for other episodes on my podcast, episodes of which you will be able to find on betterenglishpodcast.com. And I think that's all you need to know. In which case, have a nice day and see you in the next video. It has been said that Russians find autumn to be quite depressing. I've no idea why. I know, the leaves dying being symbolic of all negative thoughts, I've no idea. But for me, it sort of makes one reminisce of childhood memories of collecting conkers and bouncing around in the huge piles of leaves that are left behind. There's a squiggle. God, that's extremely close, isn't it? Okay. Wow. He thought I had food. I mean, I'm sorry to disappoint him, but how cool is that? I've never gotten that close to a squirrel.